Oh yeah, yeah, oh 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 yeah. Oh yeah, I know, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh, oh, where am I going? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? Who am I gonna say it to? Where am I going? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? Who would I say to? Give me a second here. I can do this. God darn it. Okay, sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, 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 good. Is it a good morning, good morning, good morning? Is it a good morning? I don't know. Oh, yes, it is for me. I know that much, but for you, I don't. Oh, what am I doing with my life? I don't really know, and I don't know wrong or right. Oh, that's a lie. I know when I have messed up. Oh, I know when I've missed the mark. I want to get. I said this yesterday, and I am intending to stream longer than I did yesterday. I just did a short yesterday afternoon stream, and I just mainly played these little drums here. I got to watch what all I do. I have been kind of using my arm quite a bit, and so far this morning there ain't nothing bothering me. But yesterday and then the night before, it was acting up, my shoulder and my arm a little bit. But I've been using it a lot more because it ain't been like it was. Of course, I said this also yesterday that I may at some point have to call and get another appointment, go down there and adjust. Either he'll have to try some different medication, and I guess there may be another cortisone shot needed, or even a different type of shot if that's even plausible. I don't know all the different ways that they might treat it, but the shot seems to have helped quite a bit. And I just got that done last week, but it's been a little over a week really now, I guess. And so yeah, like the more I use it, of course, it's going to be at some point probably I'm going to experience some of the similar pains the longer I go from the last time I see the doctor. I was never much of a technical drummer. Pretty basic, pretty simplified, but I knew how to keep time pretty well. Generally, the few bands I was in was all kind of heavy stuff. But I mean, it'd be interesting to see what I could do nowadays. Like if I had like a more elaborate, especially if I get an electric kit first idea is first I need a computer again to make the videos better, just to learn editing, to be able to stream and probably do more with my streams when I am streaming, especially if I have guests on and stuff. And, having a laptop or even a desktop and actual Wi-Fi at the trailer, then I'd be able to like open windows and like when I'm just by myself, I could talk about things. I could think about things I want to talk about ahead of time and have certain things bookmarked for me to pull up. Now, of course, I have to learn how to do all that, but open another app and then pull it, like I'll be able to show it on screen while we're talking about whatever subject I bring up. That'll be interesting once I get to that point. Oh, I need to let's see. Eventually I may flip the camera around if I get into talking about something that's not necessarily about music or relating to me doing this right now. For instance, I titled it like drums and life stuff or whatever I talk. What is it? Drums, life, and more. So, yeah, that's the idea. I need to go and pull out the old body that my friend actually painted up for me. It's a Mandalorian body. Now, this ain't painted up. That's but if y'all don't remember or never knew, my friend over in Wales, I believe it's Wales, it took that old head from like a Lord of the Rings figure and painted it up to look like me with the beard and everything. And what he did was, I guess, you couldn't, if you look close enough. Now, some of there's dirty and stuff, and I think I rubbed but right there on the cheek, that is to be one of the tattoos I have. And I do believe, and I'm going to say possibly right, I don't know, but definitely right there under the cheek, you can see where he did add some detail. And so it fits a 1/18th. It don't fit perfectly. I can just pop it off. But yeah, I keep the head right here to close to me. And then I can change it out and put it on whatever little 1/18th body that I could possibly put it on. And that can just, it's like my little action figure avatar. I really appreciate that. You can find his channel. I don't think I don't know if he's been doing anything, but you can even find a live stream that he came on with me a while back, like this past, like since the beginning of the year, I think he's been on. Let me get that again. Well, I can't. But his channel is Lockdown Productions. It's a toy channel. He does a lot of custom work with his action figures and stuff, and creates worlds with his daughter, like actual build stuff. And they got this cool thing out back. It's like he's got an outdoor scene where it's like all these different cool things they've built for the figures, and they'll tell stories. And then he's got a space station. But he had some health issues at some point. If you happen to find that live stream, I do have it labeled in my live streams, and it should be in the playlist. You'll find in the title his name. That because he joined, he was in the chat, and then I ended a stream and then started another stream so he could come on and just be on there for a little while with me. And I learned a lot about him. I'd known him for a while, but I didn't know what he did for a living and stuff. And he makes movie props. He actually made, he said 300 costumes for Game of Thrones, the show. I realized there for a second I was talking and I was showing off the figure, and it seemed like we had a second set of eyeballs on us. And I got to realizing, well, this person might be tuning in because it said drums. And there's this little tiny kid in front of them. And here I'm talking about a toy. But anyway, they done stopped watching. They may be watching, and it just ain't showing up on my end, but I don't believe they are. Great Cloud, don't worry about that kind of stuff. I tell you that I did see a post by a creator that I have followed for a while. Now, I haven't watched a lot of his videos in a long time, but I there for a while, every once in a while I'll comment on something. But he made a post saying, I guess he's going to give it up again, and apparently he's done this before. Something about his view, I don't know. I guess at some point he was getting larger view on his videos, but he was saying 200 to 300 views a video is not enough for him to keep doing it. Not the okay, well, hey, I could go with that, Now I'm assuming he's talking about within the first several days or that first week it's up. I have videos. If you go back in my timeline, I was surprised. Somebody was telling me about it the other day that I think some of the Jesus Calling videos have gotten up to high numbers after they've been up for a long time. I don't ever go back and really look at it as far as I don't keep up with a lot of that kind of stuff, other than I see when I've gotten a couple of subscribers. I see when it looks like maybe a few subscribers unsubscribed or YouTube did it for them. I don't know how that works, but the number will go up and down throughout the week. Sometimes it'll be up 3 or 4 or 5, even 10 plus subscribers, but then you'll have one day you'll know what the count is. The next day it'll look like a couple dropped off, and then the very next day it's right back to where you knew it was. And I don't know if that's because it's taking a minute for it to catch up in the system or not. That's what I figure sometimes. And sometimes it's probably some people that, for whatever reason, aren't into what I'm doing anymore or have something against me personally. I don't know. Walking down the road and trying to figure out my life, trying to let go of all the motherfucking strife. What can I do? What can I do? I don't know anymore, and do you? I am just trying to walk my own path and tune out all of the bullshit. And I don't know how often I get it right, but I sure know I want to let go of that strife. Okay, and so yeah, that's kind of the plan. At some point, I'm going to stop playing on these. It is in the daytime. It's plenty late enough in the morning that people shouldn't complain. And I said this yesterday. I don't think this tiny kid is probably not carrying much sound over into the other trailers, especially if they've got their doors closed, their windows closed, and they got the air conditioning running, and they're running the damn TV and all that. If I was playing a full size kit and playing as hard as I really want to play, you might hear a little bit of thump, thump, like you could tell you would be able to tell I'm playing, but it wouldn't be loud enough to cause any stink, and nobody can really complain anyway. Now, if a neighbor was to come to me and because they work a certain shift, would just say, hey, can you try not to do this during this period of time and this period of time during the day because I may be asleep, I could understand that. And out of respect, I'm going to do that, you know. Now, that's if I had a big ass kit and was playing, like I said, really hard. I hope I was already saying this. First step, get a computer set up where I can get Wi-Fi in here. I've never had it. I just use unlimited data. Get a computer. I had one. I'm not going to go into all that. Yes, it bothers me. I try to say it don't, but I fumbled the ball last year. Once I have a computer again, I will then have Wi-Fi and internet or whatever, and then I will proceed at some point to try to see about an electric drum set. And I was looking again yesterday at them. The one that I specifically looked at a few years ago was based on some reviews, and you could find it from $250 to $300 something based on how many pieces you want to add to it. Okay. I probably should get some new drumsticks too. I mean, these are fine. And there is a small little drum set of sticks that came with this tiny kit that Mike Maranatha had sent to me. And there I go again, paying attention to that it looked like two eyeballs. Another set of eyeballs came in and they disappeared again. Now, was that the same person that I saw just a little bit ago? And were they watching this entire time? I don't know. sometimes that's the case. Gray Cloud stopped focusing on that kind of stuff. My point about my friend that I saw, the creator that said, he said something about, yeah, I know some of you are going to say, Mike's done this again plenty of times and he'll be back. He said, don't count something, another, whatever. I don't know if he's joking or what, but I thought to myself, like, the kind of channel he does, it's like he teaches you things about survival and hunting and making things. He does blacksmithing and everything. Interesting channel. But I can't remember. He's changed the name of the channel. I don't know how many times between last year and this year. It used to be Mike Reads Outdoors or something. He don't say his name anymore. He's changed it several times. I think that might have something to do with the view counts. Just by the name change of the channel, people not paying attention because they're used to the original name or the name they got used to. I don't know. So if he's really signing off, I wish him well, but it's just kind of, I think to myself, obviously I believe he started the channel probably just to be doing it and have fun and share stuff. As the channel grew and he became monetized, I guess he started counting views and all of that. And it became, like he's older. I believe he's retired. He ain't working a job anymore and everything, but he was able to create a little bit of extra income, I guess, through the channel. And it made it an incentive for him to get up and do every day. So I guess I can see, but I'm just glad I don't pay attention to too much of the metrics. I would prefer if I knew someone that knew how to read it and knows what all the dang studio analytics means, I wouldn't mind that, just having someone that can read it for me and tell me what it means and shit, or keep up with it for me, especially once the channel gets bigger and bigger. If it does, you always hope to grow. That's the point. And I want the growth to be as natural as possible. And hence, I don't often say hit like and subscribe as much as I was saying at one point in my videos. If you go back in the channel history, I didn't say it very much at all, I think, the first year. And then finally I started adding it in there, but it was hit and miss. And then I got pretty distant at saying those things. And now it's just kind of like, if I remember, I do. If I don't, I don't. But I don't think it really helps much one way or another. But anybody that hits the like button, that helps the algorithm. It does push the channel out more. Anybody that actually subscribes, that's going to count also and push it out. Anybody that shares it to any social media, that's probably also going to push the videos out to other people that like similar content. I'm trying to think what I want to do here. Where am I going? Trying to figure it out. Where am I going? What am I going to do? What am I going to say? Do what I say. Of course, that's about all there is to it, and you just repeat it and whatever. I need to go back and look at some of the videos I did while I was singing, because anything I'm doing where I was playing the drums and putting words to it, even just beating the beat and putting words to it, was usually all in the moment. I'd be recording me playing the drums or the buckets and stuff, and I'd just start doing something. Words would come out, whether I was streaming or just making a video. Generally, if I was making a video of it, I had already been playing a little bit, come up with some improv words that I thought worked. I'd practice it a little bit, record it, and upload it. And then periodically I've gotten away from that because I wasn't playing much of the drums for a little while, just because of my arm. Okay, I guess we can kind of wrap it up on the drum part. I was reading this a little bit ago. I haven't got into the second story yet, I don't believe. Hold on, I might have. Hold on a second. Yeah, I haven't started the second story yet. But I did start and finish this first story. Kind of talked about it in a video over on Gray Cloud's Thoughts. And speaking of which, that video might not be public yet. And then we have another set of eyeballs on us. And I don't know if you're here because it says drums or you're here because you're an actual subscriber. And there they disappear again, just as I said something. Gray Cloud, you're jinxing the whole thing, even though I don't believe in all that kind of shit. I don't believe in luck necessarily either. I believe that there is a synchronicity to the universe and that things do happen for a reason. Some things are random and seem random, but they're really not. It's all kind of connected in the grand scheme of things. And when you get down on a subatomic level, you really find that it's all connected. So kudos to that. So I'm assuming what I'm thinking is going on is we've had the same set of eyeballs, the second set of eyeballs seeing ever since the first time. Somebody's having connection problems. And so thus far, sometimes it's showing like I'm not seeing them there. That being said, before I flip this camera around, I'm going to play a little more just in case it is somebody that's just tuning in and they were just wanting to see that I was playing this little tiny kit. I don't have a big old kit. Somebody had this sent to me and I enjoy playing with it until I am able to get, like I said, I would like to eventually get an electric kit. I looked up some yesterday and saw a bunch of different, I saw some for like $200, $250, $300, anywhere from $200 to $300 would be a good price range and probably sufficient for what I want to do. But before I get a kit, an electric one, I probably need, like I said, I want a computer to do better for the channel and better on my streams and everything. And I won't fumble the ball this time. Let's see. Okay. It's not looking like it's popping today, so it will be okay. It's not really popping today, but it'll be okay. Hang in there, Gray Cloud. It's not a big deal. We have had somebody at least listening, consistent. And it looks like we could have had 2 or 3 different people pop in and for whatever reason, not one at once. Maybe they were hoping they'd see my face like they normally do. And then I was talking about something deeper and more insightful. If you're just connecting, I just flipped the camera around to my face because it was facing on the tiny drum set that I have. It's a kid's kit. The reason I'm saying this is because I don't know if who just popped back on as the second set of eyeballs was the same as a few minutes ago or 10 minutes ago or not. So I'm just saying, if you are just showing up and you were hoping to see something about drums, just 2 or 3 minutes ago, the camera was on the drums. And when I wasn't playing, I was kind of staying in the theme and talking about some type of drum stuff. What I wouldn't mind getting for this little tiny kit, let me turn and I'm not going to sit here and worry about it from this point on. So, I'm not streaming because I'm trying to just I'm streaming to share my life. If somebody wanted to be on here with me and we were going to specifically talk about something, that's okay too. I have shared this over on X. And there's a link also there if anybody sees it in the comments on the link about this. anybody that's over there that I follow that's a creator or into the same type of, that has either been on with me or knows about me, they're welcome to go and find that. And if I see someone pop up in the back, we'll see who it is, and I'll bring them on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there could be somebody join in here in a little bit if I stay on here long enough. I'm at 30 minutes now, and if you just tuned in and you didn't see, you can go back a few minutes and you'll see where I was playing the drums a little bit. If somebody happens to specifically be here and they weren't here, and you would like to see me play the tiny little drum kit, you can tell me that, and I'll flip the camera back around and play a minute. But I'm not, like I told everybody, I'm not very technical. Was always a very just kind of simple, basic timekeeper. But this morning, you know, I've enjoyed myself a little bit. I've done a little bit of reading. Started off reading from this. There's several stories in it. I got the first story read already. And that made, like, I don't think the video on my second channel is public yet. Because when I upload now, I'm making it unlisted and letting the AI read it enough, process it. And then once it's done, once it's uploaded, I wait a little while and then I go in and make it public. I don't believe it was finished uploading when I went live here. So if I was to try, like if I was on a computer, I could open up a window and go in there and make it public right now. But if I do it now, I might lose it. You might lose me for a minute, and it might be it might complicate the stream. Because if I back out for a minute, go into YouTube and try to go over to the second channel and change it right now, when I come back, it might have been disconnected for a minute, and you might have had like a slag of something. I don't know if that's necessary. But I hope everybody's doing good today. And hopefully the chat's working. I don't know if anybody's tried to say anything in the chat. Because I'm using Restream. Usually I'll come in, but I have used the YouTube app for streaming before and stream for a good while and see people watching and not realize somebody was trying to say something till I ended the stream. And then people came in shortly after on comments saying, I was trying to talk to you, but the stuff, you couldn't see it. And sometimes that happens. So I have no clue. I'm only mentioning it because I just haven't seen yet anybody say anything. And you don't have to say anything. You can just listen and watch whatever. I see where old Mitch McConnell's trying to really change that whole farm bill that made it a loophole for people to create, like to make hemp-derived THC products. And they're trying to pretty much change it completely where there would be pretty much nothing like that. Unless you live in a legal state where you can get it from like legal cannabis people. The hemp loophole really helped some people be able to get things that, and not have to get it from some drug dealing person that it might have came through a cartel and could have something sprayed on it. But anyway, enough of that. I don't know what people want, dude. Like they come and watch, like it could be somebody just popping in that don't even watch the damn channel. And it could be people that are subscribed, but are there looking for me to be talking about comic books or anything. If somebody gives it enough time, I may be talking about whatever. But I didn't start off the stream with a specific real topic other than I knew I was going to play the drums for at least however long I did. And I think I played for about 20-something. I might not have played the entire time, but the camera was on the drums, and in between talking, I would play. I started off playing. I played for a good minute before I started talking. Then I talked, play again, talk, play again. So if you didn't see that, you can rewatch. And I may play a little bit more before we end the stream. I don't know. Now, last week was interesting because we did end up having Merlin, the sphere keeper. He joined in towards the end of a stream, and I was talking about comics that day and stuff, and that was fun. That was a fun little stream. Um, oh, and I do have something coming up eventually. I talked to a friend the other day that I asked him if he would want to stream with me sometime because we've known each other for a few years and we talk about a lot of different stuff, but really we talk about esoteric stuff, we talk about historical stuff and just life. But he was up for it and he picked a topic. So at some point I'm going to do a stream and we're going to talk about the flood, and the idea is to talk about it all based on factual things. So I'm not talking about the story in the Bible, biblical flood, but I am going to look up some stuff about, because if you look in any culture, just about you will find a flood story, and it's very similar to the same story in the biblical. But that tells me something really did happen. And I remember being 4 and 5 years old. I told him this. At 4 and 5 years old, down in the creek over by my dad's and seeing big old huge rocks with tiny fossils in it of seashells and life that was in the ocean. So I knew then that where I was grew up in Tennessee, right there, at some point had been at the bottom of the ocean. But so he brought up, let's talk about that particular subject. We might end up talking about other things, but start a stream off that way. But it's going to take a little while because he told me like he would like me to, like I haven't got to it yet, but I'm going to pull up a few videos. I'm going to watch a few things and some things I remember, like different Native American stories about the Great Flood and all that. Also, I'm going to make a few points to put on I'm going to write down a few talking points that I think are interesting. He's going to have a few on it, and we're going to try to stream and start off with an actual topic and keep it to the facts. We may discuss some of the stories from different places like the Bible or even Native America or other indigenous people of the world, their flood stories. But I think it's interesting. He said, let's try to keep it to the facts. Like I'm going to try to see what I do know or what you can find factually. We do know that most of the world was covered in water at some point. So anyway, I think that'll be interesting. Now I don't know when that's going to happen or anything. I still have yet to really schedule. I haven't asked anybody yet because I haven't thought about it too much. It is being thought about doing an official like a stream on the second channel, exclusive to the second channel, where I'm not doing it over here also. And it is celebrating being over 100 subscribers. The main topic of that particular show will probably be, I want to at least start off a good portion of it be talking about comic books, because that's where I'm starting to take a little more attention to the second channel. And when I get that thing that clamps to my table that holds the phone and it has a light on it, I am going to be moving to do more extensive videos of showing off the stuff I've got, maybe talking about it, why I'm flipping the pages and stuff. And that's going to be cool, I think. I am also debating on moving my table into the middle of this room to where the wall is behind me, which means I have to move this love seat probably over to where I'm at right now, move the table. It used to be like that, but move the table. And then I want to find some cool posters and backgrounds to put on the wall. So when I'm solo or even streaming with anybody and doing videos where it's stationary, there's a cool background other than sometimes you see the shelves with my toys, or if I'm turned around facing the window and got the cover off, you'll see this shirt that I got cut up that's hanging there with a preacher holding a stake and it's biting him in the head. Stuff like that. But either way, I want to try to find. I was looking at posters the other day, and they had one in the display of a Chainsaw Man, but there were none there in the bin. It was at Five Below, so I really was going to try to get that because I'm currently in the past few months. I knew about Chainsaw Man for a long time, but I recently, a few months ago, ordered the first volume of the manga. Ordered it used. I'm not going to order them brand new, and I'm not going to buy them brand new. There's enough of them, and you can find them all used. Now, if there's anything currently coming out, by the time I've gotten to a certain point, those will be able to be found on eBay for cheap too. So, but I'm having fun. I just got volume 4 in yesterday. Also, I'm excited about getting into volume 4 and also this other. But I've got there's a list. There's several comics that I'm trying to read first before I start on any of the new stuff just coming in. There's that. And then this is going to be really fun. But this is called Rogue Trooper. And it's like, I don't know how many other books, but this collects quite a bit of the single issues from the beginning to the end. Tales of New Earth 1. So there's more I'm going to have to get to have like the complete, this helps where you don't having to try to, like I'm not trying to have a whole collection of floppies and stuff. So it's better to buy the collected ones and stuff. And I appreciate anybody that is watching. Now, I don't know. Like I said, I did share on my timeline on X, and if anybody had been interested over there, but it's early in the morning. There's other people already firing up morning streams and stuff too. So some people may be watching someone else. Somebody might be doing their own stream this morning. I don't know. I'm talking about some of the people I know from the comic book, Comicsgate community and stuff. A lot of times they'll join me. And I didn't actually reach out to anybody specifically and say, hey, do you want to come on today? Like, I'm trying to just like be cordial about at some point I will get down to where I'm like have an idea, much like what my friend and I are going to plan to do. Hopefully I can get here soon to looking up some of the information and reading about it, and then watch some videos about the great floods and stuff. Come with a few notes. So when he comes on, we do have like a coherent, at least begin the stream with some coherency. I think I've done pretty good today. Started off playing the drums, talking about drums, playing the little tiny drum kit. And it's just been about 15 minutes ago or more. A little bit over 15 minutes ago, I flipped the camera to myself so we could start talking about whatever we want to talk about here. And I've shared a little bit about comics and stuff like that. Right now, the puppies are outside. I'm going to flip the camera around and walk out on the porch for a minute. That'll be something to shift things up a little if anybody wants to see the outside and show you the puppies. Let's go. There's old bitty head, little bitty head. Plus, I need to put my bare feet on the ground. I need to touch. I haven't touched grass with my bare feet yet today. So, okay. So, if they're not in the tub, they were in the tub earlier, but what they do is they come up over here. Look, they're hearing me. They're thinking, oh, come and bring us in. And there they are. They're behind they cuddle up underneath the garbage can here. It is a little overcast right now, so that's good. So there's 6 boys and 3 girls, And Betty did share some pictures for me yesterday that I took, and it sent her some of the pictures I shared with some people the other day and stuff. Gray clouds. It's a nice, gray, cloudy day, but the sun has been out also. When I took my walk, my like longer walk, not trying to mess with the gimbal, just walking with the headphones, it was definitely the sun was out, but there was a little bit of a breeze. Trying to spend a little time on the grass for a second here. Oh. Yeah, I will need to move them back in a little bit and try to give them a little more food, maybe. But I'm trying to leave them outside as much as possible, so like there's less messes I have to clean up and stuff. I try to do a certain amount throughout the day and keep a hold of it. But if they're out here, the mess is in the yard, unless now there's a mess I see that I have to try to get out of the walkway. I'm glad I didn't step on it with my bare foot. So there's some stones I got out on this porch getting some sunlight. Let's come back. But so yeah, that's what I'm gonna try to do. I got this on today, the yin yang purple universe looking shirt. I meant to have my cap on, my Punisher cap that I had not worn in a long time. And the other day, grabbed it and started wearing it again. And if you just join, I was just outside showing the puppies off. We can go back out also again if we want to. I'm just trying to, it looked like someone might have just joined in. I don't know. I wasn't really, when I step outside and I'm looking through this, if the camera's turning around, I'm looking at what I'm trying to show you. And plus the sun makes it hard for me to see the number counts or the chat if someone said anything. So I was trying to say, if you just started watching, I just had turned the camera back around on me and came in. I'd stepped out for a second in the yard and on the porch and let everybody see the puppies out there. The only reason I say that, I'm speaking as if someone that had just turned on the end, tuned in, if they just missed that and would like to see that, they can just tell me. Like if you were to say, hey, go back outside, let me see them puppies, I'll do it. It's not that big a deal. Just like if someone says, well, I thought you were going to be playing the drums. It says drums in the title. Well, if you didn't join from the very beginning, then you didn't see it. And there was probably about 20 minutes of the camera being focused on the tiny little kids kit that someone had sent to me. And I've said that several times. I'm trying to acknowledge that somebody might not be the same. There's been several people pop in and out is what it looks like. And I don't know if it's the same people having bad connections or new people. So I'm trying to think smart. Like it could be new people until someone says something I don't know. So if it's a new person and they're tuning in and not knowing that I just was looking at the puppies, they might want to see them. Same with the drums. But anyway, let's move on. I hope everybody else is doing well. How are you doing today? It's annoying me that I feel like my head is like at an angle. Even not right now, it's like, now I know I have like this side of I have a lump right there. It's been there for years. Had somebody tell me that it's more that it wasn't anything to, it's not like something that had to be taken out. It would be if I wanted to. The specialist believed it was a gland that's just swollen up or something that needed to be, but it wasn't something that was going to cause complications or had to be done. So it never did get done. Or like if it's not like some cancerous lump in there or something, then it wasn't necessary unless I just wanted to take it out. And once again, I hope you guys are doing all right. I've been on here to see 49 minutes. We're going to try to at least round this off for an hour. Like I think that's a good time Whether anybody, like now, if somebody by chance in the next 10 or 15 minutes pops in the studio that I know, I will continue on, because if they just come on here when I'm about to get it to an hour, we'll just stay on and keep going. But trying to make this on point and trying to keep my mind focused, keep my thoughts on track, and like I had no real talking point other than just, life. But I knew I wanted to play the drums, and then I was going to discuss that a little bit while I was doing that in between playing and stuff. So I wouldn't mind getting some better heads. The heads that came with it, fine. But if I got some heads that of a nice, good brand, and the clear ones that have double ply, and oil in them, those really last a lot longer. And they have a different type of sound. I could beat a lot harder on those drums now the hardware might wear out pretty quick and something break, but so far it's pretty durable. It's been lasting. And like I know there's a lot of people that follow me on X that are in the comics community and all that, even the weed community. And it's like, I don't do videos on weed and stuff just because I don't. I smoke weed. I smoke it in my live streams. Last year, I made a few shorts where I was hitting the pipe or something and blowing it and tagging 420 and all that stuff. And they went in and age restricted it, which I understand. But like, I just took them down and was like, fuck it. I don't need to do it. But I might actually do a few more shorts like that. And I might just do them on the second channel and just age restrict. Like, I'm just like having fun when I make a short like that, where I'm hitting the bowl, put some music to it, blow the smoke out, and be like, whatever, And I'm sure some people that come to my channel for some of the Jesus Calling videos and stuff like that, not everybody, but there's some people I imagine that, because I'm reading from some devotional, when they come to a live stream and seeing me hitting a bow, they probably have some judgments. Nobody's really ever said much, and I can't worry about that. It's like, people need to worry about their own relationship with the Creator, not mine. I can tell you that I am fine with Big Kahuna and have a good understanding of things. I'm not here trying to prove anybody wrong. I'm not trying to prove that you're wrong or that I'm right. I just know what I know for myself. I can't speak for nobody else. I didn't get this far. Like, once I knew God was there and what God, and I come to the understanding of what it really is, far bigger than any concept a human being has. You got to get past that point. You got to realize there's a lot of stuff out there about the subject and what people will tell you and how they were raised, and they'll think that they're talking from a truthful standpoint when it's just perspective a lot of times. When you really reach out and have your own divine experience, there's no going back. Sometimes that divine experience is only going to be at a certain level based on where you're at and your understanding of things and how open-minded you are. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But if you have a true spiritual divine experience of your own, unique to itself, where you don't question as far as if there is anything or not anymore, that's what I'm talking about. A revelation of some sort, a quickening of the spirit. And yes, sometimes I cuss and stuff, but I am me. I am a human being also. I'm really not a human being. This is just a tool that's being used by the spirit that I am. It's a vessel. Think of it as a car. I wished I had treated this body a lot better in my life than I did. But wish I might. You might as well shit in one hand and wish in the other. You can't go back and change it. That's life. but I can change. I can make a positive, conscious effort in the day I'm in the moment to do the best that I can possibly do. And that's all I'm asking out of myself. I wish I could have done better. Even from last year to this year, there's a lot of stuff that I screwed up. There's things that I still think about that I wish I could do, or I am going to do. There's a couple of things that I would like to send to some people that I never did end up getting sent to them, toys and stuff, other collectors, and I just have to get around to redoing one box, and then finally getting one box done for the other person. And then just one box, I definitely have the address for the person still. I haven't talked to them in a long time. Just send it out. Surprise them. They're probably not expecting it after this long. And then the other smaller package I'm making for someone out in Colorado, I think I have their address, but if I don't, I'm going to have to try to figure out a way to get in touch with them because I'm not on Instagram no more. But once I have their address, I'm going to get it to them, and they might not even know it's still coming. I hope that if I find an address I've got for them, I'm hoping it's still their address. But I mean, if it isn't, surely they would have changed stuff with the post office. Because at one time I had their address written down from like years ago when they sent me something and stuff. I still have an envelope or a package or something that I remember with the name on it and all of that. So I think I've been pretty good today. Like as far as like I'm not having anxiety right now. Like I'm not anxious while I'm doing this stream. I'm like I said, I'm trying to see how focused I can stay, especially when it's just me. Because it's easy for me when it's just me here. And if it's now when there's someone in the chat and stuff and they're interacting with me, that sometimes will help me stay focused and stuff. But when it's just me talking into the camera and people are just watching or listening, I can be all over the place a lot of times. So I did have a few little, like, okay, drums, a little bit of life. And I knew in my head, I'm probably talking a little bit about the comic books in the second channel. So, yeah. And I did consciously use the gimbal this morning and walk down the road a little ways and caught a few little, it's still, I don't know. My friend says it does make the videos look better. Then somebody commented earlier and asked me what do I have my resolution or my frames per minute set at. I know that recently, and I don't know if this is what they're talking about, but I had it recently talked about have it at high HDR, but I don't know what that, like I was looking for a setting that said frames per minute. I don't know if I have that. Like I didn't see that. Anyway, I don't know if that's what they were talking about, but I told them in a comment back like what I do have something set on, and then said if there's something that if it's not looking right and there's something you think I can do, let me know or whatever. But I've got like it ain't but a $50 phone. It's a Motorola, but it turns out like somebody had some SD cards sent to me, like they'll hold quite a bit. But this particular model phone, after Android 10 stopped allowing SD cards to be automatically store anything internally. So what I have the SD card in, and if I want to put anything on there, I have to go in and manually do it. So I will be thinking about upgrading to a better phone, even if it's just another $50 or $60 phone, but a phone that when I have the SD card in it, I can set it where it automatically pushes stuff into there. So I'm safe, like it don't slag the phone down and shit. That was the idea. So they'll still be beneficial at some point. And I did move a bunch of stuff yesterday into an SD card. So it's just over the past few days I'd done that. And then the next day, trying to do something and accidentally delete it off the SD card. And I was like, not a big deal. So we're right around an hour. we have had some people listening or watching. And I may find out after I end this, I may come back and see that there were people trying to say something. There could be some technical issue with the chat. I don't know. But I think I've maintained. And I've said quite a bit, and some fun stuff, some serious stuff, whatever, you know. I haven't made a video yet today about talking about anything or like reading from something. I don't know if I'll make one like that today. That was my, like when I went live, I was like, I'll do a live stream and then I'll decide. Like, I may make something at some point, reading either from something or just doing a free kind of just like trying to collect some more thoughts and stuff for a little while when I end this stream. Just go about my day and do some more reading and stuff. And when I say more reading, like read from some other things than the comic books. But today, I am focusing on trying to read. I'm trying to catch up on some comics, I already said, so I can get to some of the newer things I'm getting in. And also, I got to remember when I end this stream to go and look and make sure that the new video I did do a video for the second channel. So if you want to do me a favor, it's not up as public yet. As soon as I end the stream, I'll make it public. And it's just me flipping through and kind of talking about this first story and this particular Judge Dredd comic. And that's Grey Cloud's Thoughts. That is the second channel. So I am moving towards being a little more active over there. And like I said, when I get this thing that'll clamp to the table and it holds, it's like an arm that bends and everything, and it'll hold the phone. It's got a lamp on it that shines down. I can set whatever it is I want to talk about for comics and stuff. It really is going to be nice to be able to do. I did that today with the Judge Dredd, but I have it on the thing I got the phone held with right now, and it don't have a light on it, so it's going to be it's going to just be better eventually once I get it and get it adjusted and everything. Can't be that hard of a thing, but that's still a few days away. When I get that, I'll set it up. I'll experiment with and try to, and then decide, okay, time to make a video. And then it'll also be fun for over there when I start doing live streams. Like if I'm just doing a live stream by myself on the second channel and I'm just if I'm talking about some of the books, I can flip the camera around, put it in the lamp thing, and here we go. While I'm live, I can do like, you know, Dr. Ben or anybody, Ethan or any of the people I watch when they're like actually covering a book in a live stream. That will be fun as well. I mean, I can do that here too, but Grey Cloud's Thoughts is going to be where I hope to build over there and try to stick to comics and anything kind of media related. I might get into talking about, once I get the capability, like once I have a computer, that would be something cool to talk about over there. I could talk about music also. And if I have a computer, pull up certain things, whether I can play the music that I'm talking about, listen to or something, but pull up information about bands I like or have liked and share with people. I can do that here too once I have a computer. So I could talk about it in a live stream, but I think it'd be interesting when I have the capability of pulling up something about what I'm talking about. It'll make doing a live stream of that nature more capable and actually just be fun, you know, like it'll be something new to me. And I know I keep talking about it. It's like, I was talking to my friends yesterday. It's like last year, like I said, I fumbled the ball, and I've done said it earlier in the stream. Yes, it kind of bothers me. The whole receiving the laptop, a nice laptop, and then screwing the thing up where I don't have it now. So I wish I could. I told my friend the other day, I said, I wish it could have been a case where like I was really strung out or something. That's why. And that wasn't the case. It was just, I was going through some stuff at the time that, and I'm not gonna keep on talking about it because it ain't bothering me today. Yesterday I was realizing because I talked to like I realized yesterday it was bothering me. Like I'm trying to just move about, moving on. Today's the day that I got. I need to make some phone calls. I've got a list right here I made the other day for me to do some things, and I should have done that yesterday. It's already later in the day. Like the later you wait, the harder it is sometimes to get in touch with some of the places. Better, like I want to try to call human resources and stuff and see if I can maybe qualify to get some kind of social, not like if I can get a social worker that might be able to come to me and that help me out with a few things, like maybe get if I can connect with someone down, or the next time I'm down, maybe I don't know if I'll do it on payday or not, but I might call in there and find out what if they can or what kind of, and then from there, the next time I can arrange to get down there, go in and fill out what the paperwork, but get someone that can help me, maybe assist me get my ID. Maybe they can help me easier get figure out how we can get the things I need without necessarily being able to prove, like through them, they might be able to figure out how we can prove who I am so I can get the required documents to get the damn ID. I mean, I know what I need, but it's like having someone that's connected officially through something, whether it's the government or through, like if I had a mental, like if I was seeing a therapist and they had some kind of service they provided, to have somebody that was a worker that might be able to sit down with me and help me figure out some things. I used to have that. Not that I necessarily need it. It just would maybe help me get a couple of, like I'm going to call and find out. Hell, they ain't going to hurt nothing. All I'm trying to find out is if there's somebody that can help me with a few things that might move things along, and I can have certain things finally squared away to where I can start rolling on some other things in life that were being held up because of certain things like an ID and other stuff. So that's neither here or there, Gray Cloud. So we're a little over an hour. Nobody has seen my post and chimed in to want to be here. I think, well, like I couldn't have thought of who I would reach out to at that point in the morning. Some people are working, some people are doing streams, some people might be in a chat, some people might be asleep, or they're working on their projects or whatever the hell they're working on, making content for their channel or something. When I specifically think of, like, I didn't specifically necessarily need anybody to be on today. I just said kind of, I figured, because there's one person that will stream with me, but they're still, I think, having they said when they get to feeling better and more capable, they definitely want to come on again and be on with me. They've been on a few times, but I'm talking about Ghosty. Don't want to divulge her personal, but she's been going, having just some different things going on where she hadn't felt comfortable necessarily coming on and streaming. And so I'm like, just let me know whenever you're feeling better. And if once she's kind of lets me know, I'll try to arrange to do that, whether it's spur of the moment or I set it up. Say, well, hey, let me set something up and we'll do it at this time, either that same day or tomorrow or whenever, from the point that they tell me. Another person that has streamed with me quite a few times, Self-Destruct, he recently was telling me about working a third shift here lately, and that was throwing his online social life off because I hadn't seen him posting or anything or being on anybody's streams, and hopefully he gets all that worked out eventually. And because I know the last I talked to him about a few weeks ago or whenever it was he was like, we'll stream again, like, you know what I'm saying, letting me know that at some point he wants to stream again with me. So, and I enjoy it. I think he's a smart dude. I like his talking points. He's very respectful, man. And he's been on plenty of times with me, and not just with me, but also other people been on, and it's like works pretty well. He is somebody, like, same with Ghosty, like, this is all experimental. So it's kind of like, like you kind of have some chemistry with some people and things work better, and sometimes it's not. I thought Merlin and I bounced off of each other pretty well. Although when I watch it back, like the next time, I want to be less like I feel like I interrupted some and maybe, but I was a little bit more like my energy was more like I was kind of bouncy. I think I'd had a little bit of too much coffee and was just I'd been doing a lot. I felt good that day, but maybe a little bit of anxiousness, not like a bad anxiousness, but just like I could tell I was a little bit off for a minute. But I think it went well. It was a good stream. So I'm conscious of trying to be mindful of how I'm looking or something, especially if I have the camera on me. I might try to find a cool little avatar to use. I mean, I could use an avatar like I can pick it, but I might sometimes just do an avatar where I was talking or something, especially if it ain't always necessary to be able to see me. But I'm not afraid of people. I make videos. That's how I make most everything. So, but I was thinking sometimes an avatar could be like sometimes I need to have some type of, I need to change it up every once in a while. Just a thought. Actually, I think the way that I stream is probably better when you're seeing something on camera. Maybe if I'm going to anybody else's show, having a cool little avatar to use when I go on their show would be like, that might be fun. Especially if I'm going on if I go in with anybody else and they're not showing their face, just depending. But most people, that I stream with do. So everybody's different though, you know what I'm saying? Some people have their reason they don't want people to know what they look like, because you have people out there that are people that just have whatever dang something against somebody. And maybe you've never been offensive and don't even deal with content that's like, but all it takes is somebody that just don't like whatever, to cause you an issue. And whether it's with YouTube or not, and if they really don't like you, they're going to maybe try to cause something with your personal life. And if they know what you look like or someone's real name, which I've said my name plenty of times, and it's not hard for someone to figure it out. I did change my personal email to Gray Cloudy or whatever. The Outlook one, it doesn't have the name in it now. And then, so now I can give one out to people through the channel that might want to connect with me. And I don't care if someone, but I realized that's probably the best way to do it. And I just hadn't got around to changing my Gmail to something that don't have the legal name in it. But what the fuck does it matter, really? I've got bad credit. I'm not like but people can do stuff and whatever. I need to think about maybe trying to tighten my security on, I don't know, because things happen, like last year, the Facebook and the Instagram got hacked. We were talking the other day about when channels get hacked, and sometimes, that happens occasionally or something someone, if that happens, then you're screwed really kind of, unless you can, I don't know what you would do, but I need to think about moving forward. I need to at some point think about the different things that a person probably does, or what do other creators do to kind of make sure, not meaning about my name and shit, because that's out there. But as far as how do you keep, I don't have any kind of blocking thing or pay for any. Now, when I get a computer and have the internet here and I'm doing all my stuff from there, I'll probably get some kind of, use a good firewall, whatever it is you pay for, good security, on there, and stuff, have something that monitors it, keeps it pretty fucking protected and stuff. And then, just whatever, I've had before when I was on, and maybe have the things that, like, I don't do, I just search with my normal stuff, like account. But I do know that you can use like a whatever they call where it changes your IP address to where people don't know where you're actually at or something. So I've had those before. I haven't had them in a long time. I might ought to think about that, but especially once I get a computer. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. It's been fun. This has been on a pretty decent length stream. Yeah, I was thinking I might play the drums for a second again, but I'm not gonna. Right now, I think I need to end this and get kind of focused on some things back in here or outside. Whether it's reading, sweeping, some other chore, whatever. Try to get that done. Also, I wouldn't mind maybe talking to a couple of people today on the phone, the actual phone, like if I can, if we can touch base. I'm going to try to do that here in a little bit also. So I might, once I do a few things around here, I might reach out to somebody and see about just having a good conversation. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. And I know that some people tell me, what the heck? Okay, it looks like we lost signal for a second. Anyway, I've had some people try to tell me, and I understand that spelling is putting words are used to use and put spells on people, and it is true. And if you think about it, it makes sense sometimes. But when I'm saying some things, I'm not taking it so literally that when you dissect it to the point where you take the word bless and you separate the B, what does it say? Be less. That makes sense. It's a controlling mechanism. I just have never researched language so intensely that I know what I mean when I say it, but the power of words do mean something. So how about have a wonderful day? Peace be with you. So don't be less, but peace be with you, or whatever works that's better than that. Like whatever the Great Spirit says and moves through you and shows you today, accept and move on. Go with the flow. Joe Bo. Hey, everybody, have a great day. I may stream here in a little while again. I don't know. I never know on any given day. If I can set it up and I have the time and the energy or whatever, if I'm not doing something at that moment and it does come up, maybe I can arrange something with somebody and actually know it. But if not, until next time, great cloud, sage of the eternal moment, over and out. Ditto.